let's just say there's some things I disagree with Lilly Singh. Hi guys, it's me, Essie Magic, and today I want to give my response to what Lilly Singh said about LA. So she decided to give her honest review, is what she called it, of LA. She's been living here for some years now, and let's just say there's some things I disagree with Lilly Singh about. As you guys know, I've kind of become this like LA guru type of person because I'm always making videos about LA, what life is like here. I give all these tips and advice on how to succeed here, how to live here, how to move here. I also created the LA Goals community. So because this whole LA life thing has become my forte, I felt like I should give my take on what she said. Before I get into this video, I do want to remind you I release videos every Thursday and Saturday. That's Thursday and Saturday. How many times do I have to say it? Thursday, Saturday, Thursday, Saturday. Thursday and Saturday, Thursday and Saturday. Okay, that's enough. That's a wrap. And also too, of course, make sure you hit the notification bell. It's right here so that you'll be notified of videos when they come out from my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Essie Magic and I live my life being magic every single day. So typically when I do a reaction video, I put the video somewhere, oh no wait, that's the wrong side. Somewhere here. And you know, you guys watch me watch it, but due to copyright, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have my video copyrighted by Lilly Singh. So I'm not gonna do that. So what I did was I watched the whole video and I took some notes, and I'm just gonna respond to the different points that she mentioned. The parts I agree with, the parts I disagree with, and the parts that I'm just like, okay, you know, that's her opinion. She's entitled to her opinion. So as you know, Lilly Singh and I actually came from the same place. We're both from Toronto, then moved to LA. I mean, the only difference is that she's way richer than me. But yeah, so some similarities and some not so similarities. So talking about some of the points, she basically said she loves LA and she felt like when she was in Toronto, the level of hustle was not the same as, you know, it is in LA. And I agree with her on that. I think she's right. But the only thing is, when I lived in Toronto, I lived in the greater Toronto area, so like the suburbs. So it's hard for me to judge that aspect. But I can see how, and I'm pretty sure she lived in the suburbs as well. I don't think she lived in the city part, but in that sense, I agree. I do feel like the level of hustle is 10 times higher here. You're just surrounded by people hustling all the time. She also said 90% of the reason she moved here was the weather. I am opposite. That wasn't really that much of a factor for me. It was a little bit. I was like, ooh, it's hot here. It's hot in here. You know what I mean? But, but for me, I moved here just because of career reasons, and I felt like it was the mecca of what I wanted to be doing. She also says that the weather being hot makes her more productive, which is true. A lot of people become depressed in the winter time, and I think that being in LA is great for productivity. However, what I have to say where I disagree with her is that typically when you do have seasons, it does help you set goals and keep track of time. For example, you know, when I was back home, it's like, okay, next summer I'm gonna do this, by fall I'm gonna do this, when winter comes I'm doing this, in the spring I'm doing this. Whereas in LA, it's just always hot all the time, and it makes you lose track of time. And then next thing you know, a whole year has passed and you didn't finish what you were supposed to be doing, or you didn't reach the milestone you were supposed to reach. I mean, you might have reached some milestones, but you might not have reached the whole thing. You might be a little bit behind. Not to say that there's anything terribly wrong with that, but when you're comparing setting goals and, you know, making milestones, I do feel like the lack of seasons does kind of affect. So it's almost counterproductive to the whole, you know, winter makes you less productive, because if you also don't set those goals and make sure you have those deadlines and timelines, which seasons do help you do, it's still hard to be productive anyway. So that's what I think about that. She also talked about the food and how it's so much easier to be a vegetarian, vegan. I agree 100%. Before I moved to LA, I knew nothing about veganism. I knew nothing about being gluten-free, which I am right now, or I try to be most of the time. And I didn't know much about all these diets and avocado toast and kale salad and all this stuff. Definitely it's easier to live whatever lifestyle you want from a food perspective in LA, actually from most perspectives in LA. So some things she talked about as well is that in LA, everyone is so open-minded. You can never be the weirdest person is what she said. And I agree, there's a lot of open-mindedness here. I mean, pretty much everyone's pretty accepting of anything you want to do. Nobody says anything, not nobody, but most people don't say anything negative unless there's somebody who is just ignorant or not very ambitious at all or something. But most people are very open to anything you want to do. For her, you know, I know that she recently came out as bisexual, so that could be a factor for her to be somewhere where people are more open to that. There's a huge gay community here, or I should say LGBTQ community here, and so that's definitely something that's good. But also too, there was a pretty good gay community in Toronto too. Like I went to a gay bar once there and I had fun. So I mean, it definitely doesn't compare to here, like the size here, but anyway, that's another topic. So definitely agree with her that it's very open-minded here. You can pretty much be whoever you want to be over here. So one of the areas where I agree with her, but the thing about her is because she is in a different position than most people, I feel like her perspective would be different, and there's a couple ways that I see it affecting her opinion, which I'll get to later in the video. But she says that she finds it very difficult to make friends here. However, I do think she has to keep perspective that she is very wealthy and very successful, so she's gonna get a lot of people trying to use her, and it's hard to tell if people are genuine. If you're not as successful as her, like me, yet, it's definitely easier to make friends. Like as you guys have seen, you guys saw in my last video where we went and we rented a motor yacht on a boat. Like I have my core group of girls. Like I have friends here that I trust, who are genuine. So it's definitely possible to make good friends, and these are friends I know I could count on for almost anything. So I disagree with her there. I think that's more just because of the position she's in, where she is someone who's very successful, and so people would try to use her, and maybe she feels like lonely in that sense that she can't relate to everyone because she's so successful. I think that that is a different perspective just based off of the fact that, you know, she's much more affluent. And yeah, but I definitely think it's possible to make friends here. Yeah, it's possible to also meet a lot of users and people who are just looking to come up and to get what they can out of you, 100%. But I think in her situation it's worse because she's already so successful, she can't really trust that many people. So I disagree with you, Lily, there. She also talked about the fact that she can't make friends, that when she's in LA, she just comes home and is alone. Whereas in Toronto, she was always out and about and being very busy. And then in LA, she just comes home to her place alone and just, which sounds kind of sad to be honest. But again, I think it's more because of the fact that she, you know, she's in a different position than most people. I do come to my apartment alone, to be honest, but I am not bothered by that. I like my alone time, I like my me time. I work all day and then I need some time to relax and be away from the energy of, because I spend all day expending energy. So when I come home, I just want to relax. I just want to be alone. Now I don't want to say relax because I still do stuff once I get home, but I don't want noise and people talking too much, and I just want to come home and isolate myself. So I don't think it's all that bad to come home and be alone. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Some people, if they're used to people being around, they're living with family, they might find that really difficult and feel, you know, sad and lonely when they come home at night. I don't really feel sad and lonely. If anything, I feel sad about still having not become rich yet. But you know, actually no, okay, that I shouldn't say it that way. I would say I'm more bothered by having so many goals and dreams and still being on the journey to get there and contemplating how am I gonna, you know, take to the next level, what do I do next, what's my next course of action, that kind of thing. She also talked about people flaking because people are so busy, everyone's hustling. That I agree with. In LA, people flake like crazy. I mean, you can barely make plans with people. Like they literally flake so much. It's like you have to confirm if your your hangout or whatever is actually happening multiple times. Like, oh, okay, so are we still on? Okay, then the next day, oh, are we still on for, you know, yeah, it's definitely a 100% people flake like crazy. I've never seen flaking like this in my life. It's like, I'm one of those people who, if I don't think I can go, I'll let you know from the get-go that I don't think I can go. Maybe, maybe not. Or if I just can't go, I'll say it, I can't go to that. I'm not one of those people who says yes to everything and then is like always flaking and coming up with an excuse at the last minute. In LA, I've met so many people like that who say, oh my God, yeah, I'm down, I'm totally down, I'm in, I'll see you there, okay, and then no, they flake. So definitely agree with her on that. Another thing she talked about is how everyone here is super hot and you feel very pressured to also be hot. I agree with her on that. While since moving here, I've definitely felt insecure about my looks at times. Felt insecure about my body, felt insecure about really anything you can feel insecure about, like looks wise. Yeah, and I'm just being honest and admitting that. So yeah, 100% agree. Everyone here is hot. Okay, not everyone. A lot of people have amazing bodies, look great. People also do plastic surgery, cosmetic procedures, getting Botox and fillers and all this stuff that you can't help but feel like, oh my gosh, am I inadequate? How do I keep up with all these people doing all these procedures and working out 7 days a week or 6 days a week or whichever? So definitely a lot of pressure. And with that, there's also all these fads and trends and cleanses and all this stuff going on. Agree with her on that. You gotta keep up with the Joneses. You don't have to if you don't want to, but a lot of times you feel like doing things because, you know, everyone's talking about the celery juice thing or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with her on that. So now we get into more of the things that I disagree with. Overall, I did like her opinion, but one thing that I think skews her opinion is the fact that she is already very successful. She came to LA already having tons of success on YouTube while living in Toronto. So she came from a different perspective. She came here, she didn't have to struggle. She didn't start from the bottom to get to the top. She didn't have moments where, you know, she was figuring out how she's gonna pay her bills or how she's gonna get her next check. She didn't have those moments. So for her, everything's gonna seem all great and dandy and, you know, so going well all the time. And I think from that perspective, you have to take her opinion with a grain of salt because the majority of people are not in Lilly Singh's, you know, position. And although I admire all her success and she even just got a late night show, I just think when listening to her opinion, I think you should take her experience of LA with a grain of salt just because she came in as someone who was already so successful, didn't have that much pressure in terms of paying her bills. She moved into a beautiful condo when she came here, or beautiful apartment or loft or whatever. You guys get my point. And so it was very different for her. And then in that sense, she talks about how traffic isn't that bad and the whole traffic thing. People are always complaining about traffic. It's not that bad. I agree with her half and half in that. I agree with her because I'm one of those people who thinks everyone complains about traffic too much as well. It's like you moved to LA for a reason. You knew what it was going to be like, so stop complaining about it. That's kind of how I see that, to be honest with you. But again, you get into the whole factor of her, you know, she works from home. Well, it's not works from home, but she pretty much is on her own schedule. She doesn't have to drive at, you know, during the rush hour times, and she can, you know, make her schedule. I mean, I know she has meetings and things like that, but it's not like she has to leave home at 8 a.m. and be stuck in so much traffic heading to work, or leave work at 5 p.m. and be stuck in so much traffic going home. You know what I mean? Like, she can spend days at home working on her business, you know, or if she has meetings, her meetings might not be during rush hour time. So she definitely has ways around the traffic that make it easier for her to deal with in that sense. But overall, the main thing that she said was her #1 reason for loving LA was because of the open-mindedness. And she's somebody who, you know, was not afraid to be goofy and funny and make these skits and all sorts of things. So I can see why being around open-minded people is very important to her, and the way she lives her life and why she wants to be around people who will accept her and not judge her. I could totally see that. And I don't disagree, you know, with the fact that the open-minded community can play a big factor in why people love it here. And I think, I mean, that's not the main reason I love it here, because I think for me it's more about career, and it's more about being around inspiring people and being around successful people who can share, you know, their learnings with me, and I can learn from them, and just being around growth and being around, you know, people who inspire and motivate me, and of course obviously the weather a little bit. I think for me that's more what it is. I'm not so, the open-mindedness thing is great, but for me the main reason is to be around, you know, ambitious people, and be around hustlers, and be around people going for it. Being around people who are magic and live their life being magic, as I do every single day. So yeah, that would be the main reason for me why I love LA. Yeah, so that is my review of Lilly Singh's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with my points on what I said, or do you think that, you know, I was wrong at certain points? Let me know what you thought of what I said, and also what you know, think of what she said. And of course, you know, I have to plug, if you enjoyed all the content we talked about in LA, you're somebody who aspires to move to LA, or you're somebody who already lives here and wants to be around like-minded people, you're very ambitious, you want to learn, then definitely check out lagoals.com, a community, an online community I created, you know, for like-minded individuals who want to network, learn new skills. I have guides and, you know, articles on there, and I have message boards where people can talk to each other. We have monthly group chats where you can ask me any sort of questions in the chats. So make sure you check out lagoals.com. You don't want to miss it if you are, you know, a go-getter moving to LA, or have already been here for years and still, you know, trying to make things happen and reach your goals. So yeah, that is lagoals.com. And although I said online community, the local community is coming very soon. Still working on it. You guys have seen my video where I talked about planning the first LA Goals event. Still working on that, but things are shaping up. Yeah, so with that being said, I do want to remind you I release videos every Thursday and Saturday. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up. I don't think I ever say thumbs up. I don't think I really say that much. So yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, give this video a thumbs up. With that being said, my name is Essie Magic. I live my life being magic every single day. And as always, I hope you'll keep being magic. Bye!